How are you? And what topic do we have today?
Hello, Neil. So today we can talk about the difference between using AI in what we call chat mode and then another enterprise side that we call structured output when you use the AI. Have you heard of structured output in your
N-
current use of ChatGPT?
No, I have not. Can you explain what that
Okay.
means?
Yes, of course. So let's say you ask a question to ChatGPT and you tell it, uh, give me the main information about the United States as a country. So maybe it will tell you United States has 300 million people population, this GDP. So it will answer you in a sentence. It will give you the informations about the country, but as a sentence. That's the chat mode. When you send the same query and you ask for a structured output, it will send you in a structured way, country name, USA, GDP, 300 million. It will organize the data by field names. So what is the main difference between getting a response as a chat or getting a response as a structured output is that the structured output is machine ready. You can push it to a database, to a CRM, and one field will match the exact same field in the CRM. So you can populate the data into your system when you get the answer from the AI. So that's what we call structured output.
Interesting. And structured output. So what would be an example of how a company would use that structured output?
So let's say you're an accounting firm and you receive a lot of invoices and purchase orders and you need to do the accounting for your company. And every invoice has um, the service name, the amount, the tax, and then the invoice ID. So you could send that document to ChatGPT and it can reply you by text in a sentence that the amount, or if you send it as a structured output and it replies to you with a structured output, it will it will collect the VAT number from that invoice and say VAT equal this much amount. Invoice ID is this number. Customer is this. And now you can push it into your accounting system directly.
Really?
So
That's crazy. I
that's
mean,
super useful in the enterprise world. Yeah.
I think it totally is, and it's something that's needed. And who do you see these companies that are looking to do it, how do they set it up and get it going?
So the way you set it up is that you have to use the API. So let's say when we use ChatGPT on a one-on-one, we use the chat window and we send a prompt and we get answers. But structured output, we need to use the API. So this is something that we program, that the developer team or we can use Artila. Artila can send the invoices or the documents to ChatGPT, Claude, or even Llama 3.2 locally, get the structured output, and then send it to your database or CRM. So this removes a lot of human intervention because you don't need to come and copy paste the VAT number, put it in the accounting, copy and paste the customer name. You can automate that there and get directly from the answer of the AI. You update the data in your CRM on the fly.
That's really impressive stuff. What you're able to come up with is
Yes.
intriguing as can be. And what do you do at Artilla on that?
So last week's session we did in our group session, I ran a demo. We took the CIA fact books about countries like France and England, which gives you the GDP, the population, and we asked Llama 3.2, give me the structured output with all these fields about every country in the list. So this way we got all the data of all the countries in a structured way, and we put it in our database.
Fascinating, fascinating stuff.
Yeah, very, very powerful, especially for companies that deal with a lot of documents, a lot of information, and they need their employees to catch a specific information within that sentence or within that paragraph. So if you have that situation, instead of having a human going reading the paragraph, copy paste that element, you replace it by asking for a structured output from the AI, and now a machine, another program can come and pick up that data that you're targeting and deal with it. So not many companies know about this yet, and this is something that we prepared the
And
way
I think
forward.
it's the education is going to be the hardest thing because it seems so detailed.
It looks complicated, it looks like programming, but actually it's not. It's just like instead of getting a paragraph as an answer, you're getting an Excel table with the data organized in an Excel. That's essentially what you get out from the AI when you ask for a structured output. It puts the data in columns and for each row, for each country, for each invoice, you have your column data. So that part is understandable by human reading, by human view.
It sounds like it, and it's like once you have that for sure. And what do you think this will help in productivity and stuff? What will help companies do the most?
Well, it helps them in two ways. One, of course, the speed. You know, a human, we get tired with our eyes and so on. How many invoices can we do in 1 hour? The AI model can do hundreds, if not thousands per hour. The second level is the precision. Sometimes we get tired as humans and we enter the wrong field in the wrong place, but with structured output, the fields are matching and the data from one field that the AI gives you goes into the correct field in the database, in the CRM or accounting. So you reduce the number of mistakes and you increase the productivity of your team. So these are the two main aspects.
It definitely seems quite interesting what can be done. I mean, those are the things that automation is able to do more quickly, but it still has to be entered by a human, but you could do so
Yeah,
many more invoices and just walk away.
that's right. And I think the most challenging activity I saw in a business environment, especially for large companies, you know, in English it's called uh, bank reconciliation. Have you heard of this in the accounting terms?
No, no.
So let's say you're a big company and you receive a lot of invoices from your teams, from your suppliers, and then you want to match every invoice or every purchase order to a transaction in your bank statement.
Right.
That takes a lot of time. And then let's say you have thousands. And then sometimes this invoice that was supposed to be paid by a client, you invoiced $1,200, but what arrived in your bank account is not $1,200, is $1,195 because there was $5 taken by the bank. And that takes a human to go and fetch that error and then match the two. But the AI can match and say it's the same supplier, it's the same bank account name, and actually these are banking fees. Therefore, I can match this true transaction and I do the bank reconciliation for you. And then also what we ask the AI is to give us a confidence score. So the AI will add a column and say, I am 90% sure that this transaction in your bank statement is corresponding to this invoice that you have in your folder.
Now, when we talk about specifically enough AI in the fact what you're creating these automations,
Mhm.
uh, how much is the human input in the invoices? Is it like, can you schedule them, or it's more about it's able to enter the data? It's almost like making it more simpler than just throwing the invoices in the chat GPT and having them output the
That's right.
invoices.
Yeah, so what we do is that we choose a folder in the computer of the worker, and we have a monitoring program that monitors the folder. So every time somebody sends you an invoice, you throw the invoice in that folder. Artila will pick up the new invoice, send it to the AI model, get the structured output, push the data to your accounting system. So you can automate it and just train your teams to collect the invoices and put them in this specific folder.
That's nice. And specifically, so what other tasks you see kind of like that with the topic we have today?
So you have, I mean, there's so many things. You could do it with images. So let's say you create a bunch of images every day and you have a process flow that modify images. You can just drop an image in that folder. And then again, it's picked up and then sent to the AI model for whatever you want to do with the AI. Once you get the result, again, you push the image into an online place and you find the title to the image, and the description of the image can be generated automatically and fed into Facebook post, for example. So you could use that structured data without giving too much instruction to the AI. You just give him an image and you say, as a structured output, I want you to prepare a title, a description, and now you get title this, description this. You can directly push it without a human intervention. Does it make sense?
Yeah. What else? What other ones do you have?
Yeah, so this is mainly we use this especially in accounting, auditing, and data entry out of files. That's where it's very powerful. The other thing that you can use it is to recognize to do sentiment analysis. So let's say you have a website and people are doing reviews about you on Google My Business. So you could take all the reviews and feed it to the AI and tell the AI, organize these reviews, and I want review name negative, yes, no. So you give it the field that you want, and it will go through all the reviews and prepare for you an Excel where you can count how many are negative, how many are positive, how many are neutral, for example.
Wow.
Those are
Like
possibilities.
so deep in so many ways. But the kind of businesses that are on your call every week that people could jump on that call if they join Artilla. Who do
Yes,
you
they
have?
can jump. We have a weekly call where we do these hands-on. And last week it was structured output just to share the knowledge that this is possible so that we can show it to our clients, our enterprise, that you can actually, because a lot of people were complaining about 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they were saying, okay, it's nice to have the chat, but then I still have to copy the answers from the chat and then split it and then enter it into my accounting system or my CRM. So they were complaining that there was no way to benefit from the responses of the AI. And that's why these AI models came with structured output as a new type of answer.
Yeah, definitely. Simple, very simple to the point. There you go.
Exactly. There's no chatty things. It's like, here is your data for the name, for the price, for the tax amount. That's it. I don't reply with, I'm feeling well today. Here is what I feel that you should be. There's no comment. There's nothing. There's just your data structured, which is
Yeah.
what you need sometimes in the enterprise world.
Oh, you totally do because you never know what's going to work and what's not, and all these different things. And I think that the automation, any things that involve input, research, data, any of those things can be solved now.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
think,
just trying to
yeah.
figure those things out, how they're solved. And is there a lot of code to develop that stuff, or that stuff all can be done with Artilla? What
No,
you,
it's mainly drag and drop and then a bit of configuration. You need to define your fields. For example, Neil, you can come and say, I want the tax amount, and the tax amount should be an integer, which means it's a number. I don't want letters in it. And then you can say, I want the ISO code for the country, which should be 2 letters. So you can specify this, and then this helps the AI not make mistakes. So it will give you not only the data structured, but in the format that you expect. You tell it, is it a number, a word, a sentence, or 2 digits? That's very powerful because it will reduce the errors and it will give you the format that you want
all right,
for that same data.
best place you can go.
RTILA.com,
All right.
rtila.com.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Mohammed. That was a special
Thank
simulcast,
you.
Neil Haley Show, and the